I like that. How good you're doing.
You're great.
Okay.
I love your
Yes,
shoes.
one greatness. Alrighty. So, welcome to Coffee and Connections this morning. I am so excited that you guys are here. I'm so excited to see so many new faces, okay? Because, you know, when I left my teaching career and I started working from home, and Angela, I know you can attest to this because we both work from home, is that we're like inside a lot of the time, right? And oftentimes we forget to go out and create those connections. And so that is one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to bring you guys together. And I was so excited by our first meeting and the fact that there were 14 women and that we had already busted out of the room that we were there in, because that tells me that this is much needed. Yeah. And so, and the format for today is that, of course, we had fun already, and we're having some snacks, we're having some coffee, right? But the format for today, moving forward, is that I'm gonna talk to you a little bit. We're gonna all talk together, share, you know, whatever it is we feel like we wanna share about the topic, and then I'm gonna give you some additional time to really connect with each other. Does that sound good? All right. Okay. So I want to share a story with you guys. Not too long ago, I had the opportunity to meet different people. I'm trying to always get out in the community. This particular person kind of struck me, and this is why I wanted to share this story with you, is that this person is a physician, okay? And when I met this person, we got into this conversation, we were chatting, they were telling me about their services, and I thought, wow, that's something that I've been thinking about, right? I've been thinking about doing that, right? But I wasn't all in yet, okay? And so that person, when I shared that with the person, they said, oh, what day do you have the most time at? Like I said, I wasn't sure yet if it was something I wanted to do, but as people pleasers do, yes, I'm a recovering people pleaser. As people pleasers do, I said, oh, well, Friday is the day that I have the most time. And so I said, but please let me check my schedule, okay? And we kind of put those in there as kind of like maybe our little out, right? And we can go back and we can think about it and think, is that for me? Is that not for me, right? Do I want to call that person back to create that service? And I kid you not, by the time I got home, I already had a message on my phone. Hey, I blocked out 2 hours for you next Friday. Yeah. How does that make you feel? I want to know. How does that make you feel?
Pressured, uncomfortable.
Pressured, uncomfortable.
Inconsiderate, really, because you said you were gonna get back to them and let them know.
Yeah, Monica.
But it could depend on the situation, and because it might make you feel popular and wanted. It depends.
Yeah, good point.
Situational.
I think it makes me feel guilty, because then I feel like I really don't want to go, but I should be a better person and go because they want me to go. That's my problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes me feel really guilty because I already think, I'm trying to find out. That's not a very nice person trying to find out when I should be doing what they.
Yeah.
So tell me about that, if you don't mind. Do you mind talking about that more?
No.
Okay. Why does it make you feel guilty?
I don't know. It just does. I still feel sad, and I feel, why would I want to be more selfish? Why wouldn't I want to do? And that's my problem. Is I try to please more people, and so I don't always have time for myself, because I feel like, if they're offering their time for me, I should reciprocate.
Okay.
And if I try to get out of it, I feel guilty that I'm trying to do that.
But what if it's something that you're not 100% sure that you want to do?
Because I'm thinking, why it's messed up in me if I don't want to do this, or why I.
But I'm not even telling you what the service is. What if it's I'm going to cut off your toe because you have gangrene or something? You know what I mean? I haven't even told you what the service is.
What if it's a 2-hour massage?
I know.
You don't know.
I just feel if someone takes the time out of their day to call me to say,
Yeah.
I've done this for you,
Yeah.
then I feel like I should at least either go listen. Now, it's not necessarily do it, or I should be respectful towards them.
But is that what you really want to do?
No, but in life, yeah, I probably don't always do what I want to do anyway. 90% of the time, I probably do what other people want me to do.
Yeah. But we're talking 2 hours out of your day doing something that you're not 100% sure that you want to do. So I really want you to focus on
And it might cost you money.
But I really want you to focus on that. You know, like, why do you feel guilty about that? You know, why, if it's, you know, a service that you're not 100% sure that you want to do it, good morning, why does it make you feel guilty? Okay? So chew on that. Yes, ma'am.
Somebody brought up a good point
Yeah.
about, you know, they really didn't listen to you in the first place because you were going to call them back or check back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not being very considerate of your day that you
Yeah.
said I could meet but
Yeah,
we
because
didn't
what if,
get together on it.
yes, because what if that was the one Friday, you know, when I planned to go out of town? Now I can't go because I'm Chris, and I'm going to cancel it and go anyway. No. Yeah.
I think myself growing up, my mom kind of taught, you know, the girls that you're coddling, you know, you're very motherly, taught us how to please. But one thing she kind of, I hate to say failed at, was teaching us how to set parameters.
Yeah.
Exactly. And-
Boundaries.
Yes, and if you don't set that parameter, then you've already started a relationship where you might resent that person, and you can't really develop like a lifelong friendship. So the accountability on the person is, hey, you kind of stepped over my bounds and didn't give me an opportunity to come to the table and tell you what I needed from you. And then
Yeah.
we end up trying to please that person, and we don't hold ourselves accountable to, I didn't set a parameter with you and let you know that you stepped over my bounds. And I think that's, like, the older I get, that's what I have to work on, rather than pleasing everybody, saying, hey, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, but no, really, it's insecurity, it's how we're raised, things like that.
Yeah. And I love that you talked about that, because one of the things that we talked about last month about people pleasing and about setting those boundaries is that you want to set those up from the get-go, because it's so much harder to go backwards, right? And oftentimes we are consumed in thinking about other people's feelings, right? But the thing about it, again, and you'll probably hear me say this a bajillion times throughout our relationship, is that it's not up to us to make someone else feel something, and we can't make them feel something. It's how they receive it, what their thoughts are about it, what their thoughts and experiences are about themselves that causes their feelings, right? So remember that your thoughts create your feelings. Yeah. Okay, continuing with the story, okay? Moving on. So I get this message and I'm like, you know, I wasn't sure that I really wanted to do this, right? So I did let a couple of days go by. Let me process it, let me think it, let me feel it, right? And it still wasn't feeling good. Like, I still wasn't there, okay? And so I called the person and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I'm not gonna make the appointment. And they said, why? Okay, now tell me. Would you have been okay with, I'm just not gonna make it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Or would you have given all the reasons why? You know, I just can't make it that day because I am doing this, or I just can't make it that day because of blah, 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 blah. How many of you would give all the explanations?
I probably would.
Okay.
I just come on blabber.
I would just say I've got other obligations.
Yeah,
So, period.
yeah,
Because I'd be feeling good.
yeah. So why do we explain? Why do we feel like we need to explain?
I would think because I don't want to. Because we feel guilty.
Yeah, and I would probably redo whatever I was doing and I would go.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't want to let people down, right? There's that element in us that fears rejection.
Yeah.
And if we're feeling rejection about something like that, oftentimes we're projecting it onto the other person that we are saying no to. Because we're human beings, you know, and we are the nurturing ones. We're the nurturing species of human beings. And so we don't want other people to feel rejected, even if it's a silly appointment, you know. We still have that in us where we want to explain it out, right? But Tiffany and I, we got to have dinner a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about just this thing, right? So Sherry knows all my answers. So, but you know, and that's again part of setting those boundaries. Okay. All right. So story continues on. Okay. So when they say why, when they ask me why, I said I'm not ready. Okay. I felt like I didn't want to explain away. I didn't want to make up excuses. I'm within myself. I'm trying to be more authentic for myself, and I'm trying to not, you know, create stories. And so I didn't want to say to this person, like, I wanted to be as authentic as possible. And so I said, I'm not ready. This person says, what can I do to help you feel ready?
That's a salesperson.
Yeah, that's a salesperson.
I've been in those sales classes.
How does that feel inside of you?
Like you're
My
not, you didn't.
anxiety just went up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay? And this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Okay? So today we are talking about trust. Okay? And not just trust, you know, in your relationships, your trust for other people, but your inner trust. Okay? Because at this moment, when this person says, what can I do to make you feel ready? Man, I felt yucky. Like just yucky. It felt creepy inside. And there's a reason that it felt creepy. Okay? So this is what I want to talk to you about. Over my coaching career, I've gone through a couple of different certifications, and one of the ones that was most important to me is not only the life coaching piece, but the trauma-informed piece. When I went through the trauma-informed certification, you were your client, right? We did practice on our own clients, but you were your best client, right? And I always like to say I'm my best client, but I'm also my worst client, right? And so the relationship trauma course, some things came out that I noticed where I was lacking trust, okay? And the biggest piece to me that was like the aha was when I finally figured out that I have a lack of trust in men, okay? And it stems back to some, you know, just some different traumas, bless you, Miss Monica, some different traumas that I have been through, you know, throughout my life. And I shared with you guys, you know, that my big caregiver, the parent in my family that showed me the most love was my dad. But because he was in the Navy, he was always deploying in and out, in and out. And as a kid, you don't understand that. And so you feel like, you know, your nurturer, your comforter is constantly leaving you, right? And so you kind of like start to create that pattern in your brain of almost like a betrayal, okay? And you know, continuing further, you know, there were some other things that happened in my life, you know, like within my first marriage, there was some, you know, betrayal trauma from the beginning, and some things that I just didn't trust in myself that I continued to let it happen. And another thing that happened, and it's kind of, you know, all of these things center around things that happened to me in relationship to the males in my life. Okay, and so that's how, you know, through the certification, that's how I figured out that I have not only a mindful piece of not having or not being able to trust the males, but also a safety piece, okay? An inner knowing, an inner feeling in myself that when I come into contact with, in situations like that, okay, because this doctor was a male, okay? And when he's saying things like, how can I help you be ready? that just felt completely uncomfortable. That's why it felt creepy. That's why,
Coercive.
what's that?
Coercive.
Yes, yes. Inside of me, it just didn't feel safe, okay? And so something that I discovered is that I have to listen to that inner knowing, okay? Because if you don't already know this, you already have all the answers inside of you. You have to tap into her. You have to get used to listening to that, right? And not feeling guilty when you just really don't want to do it. We're in a situation like this where they keep kind of like just coming at you, you know, and it just doesn't feel safe anymore. Make sense? Okay, so something else that kind of, you know, sparked an aha moment. As I mentioned, I am someone who I always like to try to like figure out myself and figure out, it's a growth for me. It feels like growth for me. And so I always like to, you know, do the next thing that's gonna help me grow, right, as a human being. And so a couple months back, I had the opportunity to take an assessment, right, a growth assessment. How many of you have ever taken like Clifton Strengths, figured out your Enneagram number, your human design, any of those? Yeah, because we want to know more, right? We want to know about what drives us. And so I got the opportunity to figure out my why, okay? My why, and it's through the Why Institute. I've taken Clifton Strength, love it. I try to utilize it as much as I can in my life, but you know, again, I'm always looking, right? Always trying to figure things out. So with this why, after you take this little assessment, they tell you, you know, like what is your unique driving system, okay? What's your unique driving system? Like what makes you get up in the morning? What makes you do the things that you do, okay? And God always gives you, or the universe always gives you what you need. So they said that my big why is trust, okay? So the funny thing about that is that here are the characteristics that they gave me, okay? When your big why, when your driving system is trust, these are the things that you do, okay? Your relationships, when they are based on trust, when I know that I can trust you, when I know that I can trust my husband, when I know that I can trust my children, we can do anything, right? We can accomplish anything. The sky is the limit, okay? Being that my big why is trust, is that I'm going to go to great lengths to be trustworthy, okay? I'm gonna learn all of the things. I'm gonna be the expert in my field so that you will trust me, okay? I'm going to make sure that I do all of the things correctly so that you will trust me. Who was that just signed?
Me.
Oh my gosh, yes! Yes!
I feel it.
It's exhausting.
It's so much. It's so much
Yes.
pressure on yourself
It is so much pressure on yourself.
all the time.
Yes. And when you're doing all of these things, you are looking outside of yourself for validation. For yes, I'm doing it right. For yes, you should be able to trust me. Yes. So I'm glad you had that human moment of sighing, because yes, it's exhausting. And so I want to share with you, because Eileen, right?
Yes.
You also identified, you did say, oh my gosh, this is so me. I could see myself in this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure, because today, when we leave, I want every single one of you to feel empowered, feel inspired, feel confident, and feel resilient, okay? So we have to start with what happens when we fall into this, okay? So I want to tell you about the pitfalls first, okay? Not only is it exhausting, okay, but when you are operating on self-doubt and on insecurity, you are not showing up as your authentic self. You're not being real. You're not showing the world your true inner wisdom, your true inner being, who you truly are to your core. Do you agree? Yeah. When you are operating under self-doubt and insecurity and you're doing all of these things, it is extremely stressful and it's going to lead to burnout, right? And who is it that's going to feel that? Yeah, it's going to be you. It's not going to be all the people that you're trying to please and all the people that you're trying to prove that you're trustworthy. They're going about their day, right? And you might be kind of, you know, sitting at home on the couch because you were so dang tired. You're so burnt out, right? And so you're not being creative. You're not out in the world giving the world your true authentic gifts, okay? What happens with this is that it could show up as missed opportunities, okay? You were meant to be a creative being. Okay, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be able to quilt and make a beautiful blanket like Miss Tiffany, right? Doesn't mean that I'm going to, you know, write the next best selling novel, right? You're meant to be creative in your own unique way. And so if you're stressed and you're burned out and you're insecure, right? There's so many opportunities that you could be missing out on, which leads to the next one, regret and unfulfillment, okay? And this is my big standing point, is that, and sometimes if we're in a networking group together, so a lot of times you'll hear me say this, that I am a champion for midlife women who want to rediscover who they were meant to be, okay? Because oftentimes we have those guilty feelings, we have the insecurities, we don't show up as our most creative self, right? And we put ourselves on the back burner, right? We don't do for ourselves anymore. And so if we continue that pattern, if we let that pattern continue to happen in our lives, then missed opportunities is going to lead to regret, I wish I had, or I'm just not happy and I can't figure out why. What were you gonna say, Rosa?
Aren't we taught as young girls to be on the back burner, to serve?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so how are you gonna overcome that if that's all you're taught?
Yes, yes. So overcoming that is creating new beliefs. It's hard. It is so hard to break the patterns that we have been taught, that have been ingrained with us. So it's first recognizing it, right? And when a thought comes up where you want to, you know, where you notice that, oh, I need to be that nurturing person for that person, right? You need to get curious about it. Like, why do I feel like that? Why do I feel guilty about not keeping an appointment that I didn't make, right? You know, why do I feel guilty about it? You know, and really feel it. Like, what feels in alignment with you, okay? And then what's the next best decision, right? Because I know, like, for myself, my two kids are already out of the house, right? That doesn't mean I'm not a mom anymore. I'm still constantly thinking about them, right? But I have to know that now it's time for me to back off, and it's my opportunity to be the mentor, right? I don't have to be the caregiver anymore. You can be 26 and 30 years old and create your own messes, and I will be the mentor. And if you ask me for my opinion or my advice, I will do my best to, you know, give you some ideas of what could be next, right? But I get to step back and I get to let them make the mistakes, let them get into messes. You
Let
know,
them clean up their own messes.
let them clean it up themselves. Yes, and oftentimes I use parenting as the example, you know, because I'm right there with you. You know, like I'm still like figuring that out. I'm still, you know, figuring out what my relationship looks like with the kids. Yeah, is that what you were thinking?
Yes, in a way, yes,
Yeah.
because, you have to, I mean, you believe, you're being taught this by your mom
Yes.
and everybody around you as a
Yeah.
child. School even,
Yeah.
church, everybody. So, I mean, to break that pattern is gonna be tough, and then you're gonna you will feel guilty when you can't be there fully for somebody, because but yeah, I guess it's a work in progress.
It is, and honestly, it is rewiring your brain. And it does take work. It does, because like you said, oftentimes those are the things that we were modeled, right? It wasn't always said to us, you have to do this, or this is what a good wife looks like, or this is what a good friend looks like, good mom, but it was modeled to you. And you're absolutely right, not just in your home, but through all the other systems that you went through school, through church, through all of those things. And so this is what you saw of, this is what a good, caring, loving person looks like, right? And of course, we all want to be those things, but you can be those things without giving up yourself, without giving up what feels best for you and in alignment with your own wants, needs, and desires.
Look, watching my mom and her situation, she was, they were all so old-fashioned back then. I did not want to be like her, and that made me feel guilty in itself, because I didn't want to be, so submissive to my husband like she wanted us to be, and I'm like, my husband can get his own coffee, thank you, I'm not gonna be serving. So, and she would just tear me into me, because I'm like, he's your husband, and this and that.
Yeah.
But I did not, even from early on, I never wanted to be like that. So, I mean, I know I can break away from it if I really want to.
Yeah.
Do I really want to?
Do you know what that taught him though? It taught him how to serve others too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're not serving him all of the time, and you're taking care of yourself, and you're modeling that that's okay, he's seeing that too. And he's wanting to take care of himself, and he's wanting, and you're wanting to be that for other people. Yeah. So you shouldn't feel guilty about it, I mean, because like even times, because in my first marriage, I was married for 21 years. Got married at 18. I know I've shared this with you guys, and so a lot of the growth years, your 20s, your 30s, where you're like really growing into who you are as a woman, was who I am as a spouse, who I am as a parent, and so when we got divorced, that was like the major, life event that happened for me that really caused me to reevaluate and decide I wanted to make the shift, I had the opportunity to just focus on me, and it continues. I mean, I'm in an amazing marriage now, but it still continues. I'm still bringing my independent, authentic self into my new marriage, and so it's an opportunity for that other person to see in you the things that they like, the qualities that you bring, and then they get to decide, how they want to show up as their authentic selves. It gives them an opportunity to do that when you're doing that yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you may think, oh man, I didn't do it right. But no, you do it the way you do.
Well, I didn't feel guilty that I wasn't serving him. I felt guilty that my mom was thinking, I didn't teach this girl right, because she's doing this. I didn't feel guilty about the other.
Yeah.
And that it was her, because she was pretty much forced to raise 7 children, not go out and work, not follow her dreams and all that. Yeah. And so if I'm saying, I'm not gonna do this, she's probably thinking, what a wench.
But I taught her all those things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes you see people's, they say children learn by their parents. Well, I did, but I learned that I didn't want to be like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. How many, if you don't mind me asking and you're comfortable sharing, how many of you had that thought? You know, as you were going out into the world and adult, I don't want to be like that.
Me, I am not like my mother.
Yes. And and it's totally okay. Yes, you feel guilty about it again because you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings or what have you, But, and the thing about it is that we weren't brought up to know any of this, right? These are, for most of us, brand new things that we're learning, that it's up to them to decide how they want to feel about it. She had the choice. If you said, I don't want to be a subservient wife, she could have went one of two ways. She could have went many ways, right? She chose to feel guilt and to project it on you, right? Or she could have said, yeah, I taught her, but she ain't doing it, so whatever, right? She had a choice. Yeah, just like you have a choice. Yeah, but you chose what was most comfortable, or uncomfortable, I guess, right? Finding comfort in the uncomfort, and what was modeled to you. Because I'm sure that there are several other instances in your life where mom made you feel guilty. Yeah.
She used to, still love her.
They were, yes. And the age and the generation, what have you, and the circumstances that they were living under, yeah, it's totally understandable. Alrighty, so those are all the nasty pitfalls, right? Being stressed, feeling burnt out, missed opportunities, feeling unfulfilled, right? Yeah, does that sound like the empowered, inspired that I promised you? Yeah, no. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, so, again, you have everything inside of you. Your navigation, right? Everything within you, the way that you're choosing to think, right? The patterns that you're ready to break, right? How you want to show up for yourself, because guess what, midlife women and those of you that are younger that are learning this, you can break these patterns, right? And it's not selfish to feel, to want to feel better about yourself and want to do things for yourself and want to create things for yourself, because I promise you, when you are doing things for yourself out of love for yourself and out of using your intuition and your inner knowing, you're teaching people how to treat you. You are modeling for them how they could be showing up in the world, okay? So it's not selfish to want to think about your happiness and what makes you feel good to the inside, all right? So when you are doing this work and when you are deciding that I want to trust my inner self, I want to trust my inner wisdom, I don't want to look to other people to create my trust. When you're doing this, you are showing up as your authentic self, okay? You are thinking about, and I know this is a big one, when we get up in the morning and we have somewhere to go, what am I gonna wear? How am I gonna show up? What are they gonna think, right? But when I'm thinking about, hey, what makes me feel good, right? Think about how you glow when you walk out the door, right? I didn't plan on wearing this today. I pulled out my beautiful green dress that had all the different green colors, and I went, that's wrinkled. That's not gonna make me feel good. That's not gonna make me feel empowered and inspired, right? So I started pulling out other things, and I thought, well, let me just try it on. I think I look pretty good. Thank you, sweet friend. Yeah. But think about that, like when you're getting up and your first thought is, how am I gonna present myself to them? Think about how you present yourself to you, because when you get up and you decide, do I want to wear makeup or do I not? I feel pretty good today without my makeup. That, I do have makeup on, but that could be a thought, right? I don't want to do all that today. I want to have an easy day, right? I want to have a day where I'm not spending 30 minutes in the mirror, okay? And I want to have a day where I wear this dress and I feel good, or jeans and a t-shirt, right? And so when you are listening to your inner wisdom and you are tapping into your authentic self, you're presenting yourself to the world as being empowered. You're walking out of the house already glowing, right? Because you are shining from within. When you are showing up and you are trusting your inner wisdom, you're showing up with so much more confidence, okay? Because what happens is we get into these thought patterns, right? We get into these old patterns that we've been taught over and over and over again, especially in our thinking, okay? And so when I decide what's best for me, and I celebrate myself for deciding what's best for me, it tells my brain, oh, she's starting a new pattern, right? She liked that idea. She liked showing up and feeling, showing up as her authentic self and feeling great about herself. And so I'm already starting a new process of new patterns, right? I'm boosting my own confidence and rewiring my thought pattern, okay? So when you are creating these thought patterns, you are building resilience, okay? And what that means is that life can throw you any circumstance. Life can throw you anything. Last night, I got in my car, it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I thought, I turned the key, and at first the car was like, nope. I was like, oh man, right? But it didn't freak out. And my husband's not here. He's not in town this week. And so my first thought was, okay, how am I gonna handle this? What can I do, right? I already know from past experiences, ways that I have already rewired my brain, I've got this. I can take care of it. I know how to call Uber. I know how to call my dad. But I don't have to freak out in that moment, right? Because I've created resilience. I've created a pattern in my brain that I can take care of this, right? I know in my inner wisdom that I can handle things that life throws at me, okay? And when I'm doing this, when those old beliefs pop in, when I'm having that day when my brain says, this ain't happening today, I can overcome that. I can question it. I can get curious about it. Why are you thinking this way today, right? What is it that's coming up for you? Is it maybe something in your subconscious, a time when whatever it may be, right, that didn't feel good? Maybe a thought pattern that, was from your old patterns, right? So I can overcome it by creating new beliefs when I'm creating those new patterns, okay? When you're doing this, you are making the next best decision for you, okay? Rather than what's gonna make so-and-so happy, what's gonna make them happy, what's gonna create this trust in this relationship with them, okay? So, trusting yourself and trusting your inner wisdom is going to empower you to go after your goals. It's going to empower you to decide on new goals, create new goals, right? And as you're crushing those new goals and you are celebrating even small wins, even small areas where you made progress, and don't forget to celebrate those small things, right? Where you're making progress. It's going to empower you to really go after those big goals that you truly want for yourself. Doing this is going to continue to inspire yourself. It's going to continue to inspire yourself to want to create more, to want to use that creative part of you, that gift inside of you that you may not have tapped into for a while. Remember that you have those gifts. You were meant to be creative. You were meant to create. How many of you are moms? You see, you already created. It's going to help you to be confident in yourself and confident in your abilities. confident in your gifts and what you were meant to offer to the world, okay? And again, it's gonna create that resilience, that feeling, that knowing of any circumstance that life throws at me. I know I've got this. I know I can do it. All right? Okay, so how, right? Okay, Christy, you told me all the empowering ways, you told me all of the things. How are you going to trust in yourself? I'm looking for a pen.
Here's a whole.
What are some ways? Oh, that on the big Sharpie.
There's a
So if you're taking notes,
There's a Sharpie there.
so if you're taking notes, you can write these down in your notes. Okay, so how do we do it? Give me the how. How do we do it? How do you create more trust in yourself?
Listen to yourself.
Listen. Remember when Creepy Doc said, "How can I make you feel ready?" Right? And inside of me, I was like, "Oh, this doesn't feel good." And I know where it comes from. I know that it's, past experience and, and this feeling of, I want you to show up and don't reject me, blah, 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 right? But inside of me, it was like, this isn't for you, okay? And I could have went and it could have been wonderful, right? But there was something inside me that was just saying, this isn't for you. So I listened to her. What else?
Search yourself.
Research?
Assert.
Assert, yes. Assert, does it have two S's?
Yes.
Yeah, I was a teacher, don't spell well. And you know what I modeled for the kids? Pull out Google, ask Google. Google will tell you.
But we don't have to memorize words anymore because we have Google.
I know.
It's great.
It's good and it's good and it's bad, because you guys should see those fourth graders spelling. Okay, what else? What else can we do?
Comfort yourself.
Absolutely,
Like a parent, like a
yes.
nice nurturing parent would.
Comfort yourself, exactly like your parent might. Comfort yourself.
Stop doing and just be still. Sometimes like we
Take a
gotta
day.
stop doing and just
Yes.
sit, so we can listen to ourselves. Sometimes we're so busy, like we can't even like tap into what it is that we actually need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we say get silent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we do want a positive spin on it.
Yeah.
That's a
Put
good.
on your happy song.
Because yes, thank you. I love that. Because of the way that we choose to live lives right now, like I got this scheduled, I'm going here, going there, right? That when we're in that chaos of being everywhere, we don't take the time to stop and to be silent and to really tap in, like you said, to listen. Yes, motivation. Motivation through
And
music.
it's really hard when you're doing that and you're around people who aren't putting that extra effort in as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know of someone you can contact really quick who does put that little extra effort in to be positive and stuff. it's really
Yes. Yeah. So music oftentimes motivates us. Okay? And you can still do all of these things and you're creating new neural pathways by moving your body.
Yes.
Yeah. So dance. When was the last time you just danced?
30 minutes ago.
Yes, 30 minutes ago. Some of you did, right? Yeah, 30 minutes ago. Moving your body helps you create those neural pathways. Just like writing things down helps you to take it in, to really internalize it, right? Because you're doing a couple things when you're writing it down. You're listening, you're thinking, you're internalizing it. Yeah. What else? What else can we do?
Try new things.
Yes, because you know what? When you actually take the fear out of it and you try it,
Go for it.
and yes, and even if it succeeded in the smallest ways, you can use that as your celebration, right? As your celebration to continue to create more.
Even if you don't want to do it again, at least you had the learning experience of what it was like, and then it's like, oh, I can choose to continue this, or I can choose to not continue this.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What happens with failure?
You learn.
Yeah, you learn. Man, we don't like to feel it though. right?
Right.
We don't like that feeling that failure creates. And so what ends up happening is we stay stuck and we don't try new things. Yeah. All right, so last question I want to ask you. What's the worst that can happen? When you trust yourself, when you create new things in your life, and you go for those big goals, what's the worst that can happen?
You get rid of the things that don't serve you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna break it down for you even smaller. The worst thing that can happen is a feeling. A feeling. And then if I haven't told you already, a feeling is just a vibration. That's all it is. A feeling is just a vibration. And yeah, it's kind of hard to think, oh my God, I'm vibrating really hard. Oh, wait. I'm vibrating really hard when I'm afraid of something, right? When fear is happening, right? But it's just a vibration. That's all it is. Yeah. So what's the worst that can happen if you bet on you?
Just do what you wanna do. That's been my new thing. I have a new mom, new marriage, and I listen to all you ladies and I think, I do what I wanna do, so I'm trying to set the tone now and be like, this is how I would like things to go. You can do what you wanna do, this is what I wanna do. And I think it's helping. It's been a little bumpy, but it's helping.
Treat 'em right.
He wasn't expecting that, so.
But when we do that, we allow for them to do it too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not selfish if you are allowing them to do it also,
Right.
Yeah.
right? I mean, if you're saying I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, but still you're not, right?
Yeah.
Then that's where you
Yeah.
start to have the problems. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And basically it's teaching the other person again how you want to be treated and giving them the opportunity to decide for themselves if that's what they want to. Being open to allowing them to have that too. Yeah. Do y'all have any questions? All right. Okay. So a couple of other fun things. Chris and I, actually Chris gave me the idea and I ran with it. I love it. If you want to have, we wanted to do like, I'm calling it, this is what I'm calling it, soul sparklers, right? It was like, there was something else about, I did like a chat GTP and looked at like different names, but I decided I wanted it to be soul sparklers, okay? And so basically what we're gonna do today, if you are open to it, if you want to, we're gonna pair you up with another woman in the room. And again, we meet the second Wednesday of the month, okay? So you have that month, that entire month, to lift up your sister in any way you possibly can. You're going to help feed into their souls. And it could be just a, hey girl, how you doing? How's your week going, right? And it doesn't have to be every day, right? It could just be, you popped into my brain today and I wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you, okay? So, raise your hand if you're up for that, if that's something you wanna do. Okay, I'm gonna give you a number, right? Keep your hand up, keep your hand up.
Rachel and they both want to, they just don't know.
Don't feel pressure. Okay, don't let her talk about it. Yeah. I love that. She said, I know what I want to do.
Yes.
Go, girl.
It's okay,
Yes. Okay.
It's okay, I'm still going
1,
both
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and who else am I missing? 1. Okay, does everybody have a number that wanted a number?
I don't know what my number.
Did she get one back there?
Yeah. Okay, do we need to go, do we need to do it then?
I got it, she got it.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
All right, number ones. I'm gonna hand you a sticky note. Number ones, sticky note. Who needs a one?
I don't think you explained it. It could be a text. It
Yes.
could be a hello on the phone.
Yes.
It could be taking you for coffee. It could be just saying,
Irene's like,
I'm
I don't want
thinking
anything
about
extra on
you.
my plate right now.
Exactly.
That's fine.
I'm, yeah,
Raise
I'm
your
like,
hand if you're
I'm
on one.
solid right now. Chris, thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Rosa.
Maybe next month.
Rosa.
1. Okay.
Yeah, I need
Is
a
that,
Okay.
is that like the doctor thing?
No.
Explain.
Yeah, that was Chris is being the doctor.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's trying to coerce me.
It makes you feel guilty if you don't say
Okay.
Exactly.
Number one, write your name and your phone number on this paper, please.
All you people that said no,
Number
don't come
one.
to that pool party. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna crash it anyway, Brenda.
You're welcome.
Oh, did you get papers to everybody?
Yeah, you're a 1, Tracy.
No, just number
I'm
one.
trying to count.
Number one. Number one.
Because I'm a 2. Rosa. That's a pencil.
Do you want us to fold it in or out, because there's a sticky thing on it they're gonna stick?
You fold it to where like the sticky, sticks to whatever. Okay, writing your name and your phone number. Your name and your phone number. Name and your phone number. Awesome. Okay, number ones, when you're ready, give me your sticky. Number ones.
It's okay, you know I'll bug you anyway. We're calling you anyway, Eileen.
We are.
So
that just means instead of one person, you're gonna have like five.
Okay, number twos, raise your hand. All right. Number twos.
Yeah, I'm a 1. No,
I have it.
Number twos. Awesome. Okay. Number twos. Are you ready? Number twos, it's your job to start the conversation. Okay? It's your job to start the conversation. I'm going to give you a few minutes here just in a little bit. We have one more activity that we're going to do, and I'm going to give you just a few minutes. And before you leave, connect with this person so that they're not getting some weird, random, hey, how you doing? Okay? All right, everybody take a sticky and write your name on it. Another sticky. Everybody. Everybody? Yep.
Was that supposed to?
Everybody.
Was that supposed to get extra?
Well, you were 1 or a 2?
I'm 1.
No, you weren't even listening to the Okay, write your name on the picture. Everybody. Class. Oh, y'all don't have that?
Just our name, not our number.
Okay, what do we do?
Just your name.
Okay.
Yes, I have some door prizes I want to give you. I have some treats I want to give
What's
you.
your name?
So there's not
You get a
another
treat.
Eileen in here today, is there? Huh? No.
Did you write your name on?
Oh, I got it.
Door prizes. Thank you.
Oh, what am I saying? I don't know.
Are we folding them?
Girl, you are so complicated.
Rachel. My name is Rachel. Rachel is my name.
But she's authentic.
Christy opened the door and she said, Becky.
I know. I was like, oh man, I'm reverting back. Okay, do I have everybody sticky?
She was a person that.
Do I have everybody sticky?
This is a good book for you, so what you.
Okay.
I just have to read.
Okay.
All right, so I have 3 treats that I want to give you, and you have the opportunity to come and choose what it is that you want. Okay, ready? I'm picking from the bottom.
No, I'll do it.
Oh my goodness, I know whose crumpled up mess this is. Chris. All right, come choose what you want. This and that. What do you want?
Start taking that new iodine.
You did? Is it working?
Aw, that's so sweet.
I love you
Giving
too.
your friend
Tell her
a
she's
gift.
still not gonna coerce you into doing something you don't want to do.
She's just gonna
Yeah.
harass me is all.
Okay, Tracy. Tracy. And at first I was like, okay, is that how you pronounce it? Come choose.
I write Trace because that's what my family calls me. So sometimes
Oh,
I
okay.
was wondering
Cool.
that too.
This or
Okay,
this?
Thank you.
One more. You ready? Who wants to win? Rachel!
Okay.
All right, open your gifts for everybody. Be jealous. No. No, jealous. Tell me what you got.
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa.
What'd you get, Eileen?
3 complimentary sessions.
So all you have to do is scan that QR code and choose whatever dates that you are available for. If you do not see dates that work in your schedule, just let me know. Text me, let me know.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Okay, yes, yes.
Ladies, it's been awesome. See you next time. Thank you.
Yes, now don't forget, if you were number 2, you're reaching out first, right?
I am not. I was-
She's booking it.
Number 1, so you're waiting.
So I'm waiting.
Yes.
Somebody's going to text me and I promise to answer whoever it is.
Is it a secret? Is it secret?
No,
Could be.
no, we could do that. Okay, Miss Tracy, what'd you get?
Starbucks.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, now, here's the caveat. You get to invite a friend. Take one of your soul sparklers.
Take your number 2.
Take a soul sparkler. All right, Miss Rachel, what'd you get?
That too.
Yes.
What is it?
If you are not familiar with this book, this book is the coolest book. It's called Your New Now. And basically it reminds us that life is all about seasons, right? Each time we move into a new phase of our life, we're moving into a different season. And so this book really helps dive in and talk to you about the different seasons and how you can continue to show up authentically yourself in those different seasons in your life. It also follows the story of Moses. Yeah, very cool. All right, ladies.
So
Did
you
you guys
can
have a
read
good?
it and then you can pass it on to one of your other super
Recycle
sisters.
it. We could put our name, you can put your name in it and we'll see how many women it
Actually, you could
reaches.
put what you got out of it in one paragraph,
Yeah.
what you got out of the book, and then you can share it to the next person.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah.
I like
As you're massaging them.
Did you guys have a good time this morning?
Yes.
Good. Awesome. I have my cards over on the table. Just reach out to me if questions pop up or what have you, or if something pops in your brain and you think, oh, you said this. Can you tell me more? Please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Let's continue to inspire each other, empower each other. If you are a number 2, please make sure that you reach out to your soul sparkle her soul, right? Yeah. So this is your opportunity. Please finish up those snacks. I can't do dairy or gluten, and like I said, I'm home by myself. So please don't make me take that stuff home.
Can you give us the next date?
Yes.
And
October.
everybody bring a friend that would enjoy this.
Yes. Bring a friend.
The 11th.
October
October
11th. October 11th. And I'm sure that we'll continue to meet here. I don't see any reason why we can't. Are you guys comfortable in this space?
Yep.
Man, when I walked in and I saw, how much was available to us, nice comfy couches,
So
a
gorgeous.
table, for taking notes and things like
And the
that.
coffee bar. It's so nice.
It's Cassandra, what were you gonna share with me?
I was gonna share, if any of y'all who need parent support, actually run a parent support group here in the nursery right over here. It's on Thursdays from 11:45 to 1. So it's free. I'm doing a series called the ABCs of Parenting. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about boundaries and we're gonna be right in there. So lunchtime, bring your lunch, bring your littles if you need to, and just, yeah.
So
Thank
the
you.
location is always at the church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna continue
This is
to
only our
meet
second
here.
time to meet.
Oh, okay.
The first time
Yeah.
we met was at the
Okay.
senior
Right.
remember? And I
Oh,
told
this is
you
your
about-
first time here?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Last month we
It's a
met
great
at a
location.
coffee shop and we were just, all, you know, crammed into that room and
14 and
we're very
Oh, yeah.
intimate and
It was
comfortable, you know? But the church so graciously offered us this space and I love it. It feels right. It feels in alignment.
It does.
All right, so it's 10:30, and I know that I said that we would go 9 to 11. So this is your opportunity to meet new people, to network, to meet new people. Create
And there's lunch with my kindergartner today at 11:30. So I'm gonna go get some Chick-fil-A. I'm so excited to get to know you. So, do you go to church? No, I live in Eagleside. Okay. And then so I was attending church in Rockford, and then I was fishing in Portland. So that's where we're going. Yeah. Okay, I was just curious when you said that you were. But I mean, yeah, doing a class here. I'm like, she must go here. No, my so a mutual friend of mine, Christy, is with me. She's one who introduced me to this church because I was looking for a space. I was in a lot of rooms, so. Okay, well, yeah, you don't text me.
It's our dinner call. You're coming, Rosa. It's our dinner call. I invited you. Just tell me. Tomorrow night at 7.
So what do you do?
You and your husband.
So my husband and I have a home. Okay, cool. So I need to do
With your family or just you two? You could come, we could celebrate there.
you know, do different things, try to just get moms together.
6 to 8 probably, just probably 6 to 8.